Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest for our Christmas episode. Man, it is a pleasure, Queen. Thank you so much. Round of applause for Cynthia Kaye McWilliams.
I love the actual round. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I had
We got it.
to.
That's beautiful. Thank you. It's an
Thank
original
you.
round of applause.
Oh man,
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
no,
Thank you, Tashay. I appreciate it.
appreciate it, man. So, this gonna be a very fun one. This is very dope. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all know who Cynthia Kaye McWilliams are, y'all should know. I mean,
I
she,
mean, I hope so. But you know what? It's hard out here in these streets. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things pulling people's attention. There's 80,000 networks on 80,000 streaming services. They're not always going to catch you, so it's okay. I
it's
always feel like, hey, you might not know me, but hopefully when you get introduced to me, we're immediately friends. So,
amen,
Yes.
amen, and amen again. 'Cause that's how I was when I met you, and I was so. Before we get into the question, everything
yeah.
on your IMDb, are you originally from Germany, Berlin, Germany?
Yes, yes. So I'm an Army brat. My father was in the military. So I was born in West Berlin when there was still a West and the East. We actually have a piece of the Berlin Wall in our house back at home. My parents are from
Nice.
Kansas City, though. So that's where they grew up mostly. They met in Kansas City when they were 16 years old. My parents have been together since they were 16 years old. Yes, and they are
Man,
still
shout
married. Yeah, still married, y'all. Yeah,
Well,
that deserves a round of applause.
Yes.
that deserves all that round.
All the applause.
All the applause.
Mommy and daddy been together for forever. And so I grew up primarily in Kansas City. But that's the thing, I grew up a little bit of everywhere. I was born overseas. We moved around a little bit when I was younger, through the East
Mhm,
Coast, the South, Midwest. And then I went to college in Chicago at DePaul University.
mhm.
And then I was in LA for about 15 years, doing my career sort of back and forth, wherever work took me. But that was my home base. And now recently I just, I won't say moved, but I've expanded my home base to Chicago. So now this is where I'm at primarily.
Mhm.
Since I've been here, I've started teaching at DePaul University as adjunct faculty. Yes, I teach introduction to acting for the camera as well as audition technique. And then I also started my company, Cyn City Creative. We can talk about that a little bit later. And then since I own this building, we also have Cyn City Studios downstairs. So yeah, I've just been expanding in a number of different directions so that in case people don't know about me as an actress,
Hmm.
that's all right because I love what I do immensely. But in addition to being an actress, I'm an entrepreneur, but mostly I am just another person out here on their journey, really passionate about seeing you get to where you want to get to on your journey. I love seeing people win. So that's really what I've invested most of my life in doing.
that
Amen.
is so amazing. Let's give her a round of applause. Just talk that.
Look, look, I'm telling
Thanks,
you.
y'all. I gotta wake up to y'all every day. This is the
Hey,
kind of applause you encourage my yes. I feel like very Donnie McClurkin on here.
come on now.
Donnie McClurkin. Encourage yourself. Encourage me while I encourage you. I love it.
Come on now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We fall down, but
But
we get up.
we get
Get
up.
up.
All
I
right,
can't
now
really
give me the
sing, but I
stuff.
feel like I got gospel in my soul.
It's right
I
there.
got
I'm
I
This is
good
got
with
you.
a deep.
You
I'm
you
good with
know.
like a good run that has no actual key to it, though. I'm off key every time, but you know.
I
that's
got
We
you. I
fall
got
down,
there we go.
but
Hit it.
we get up.
Hit it.
It's the what it is the ends. I can get them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
oh.
I'm right there with you, Sin. I'm right
We
there.
also had
girl.
our Christmas holiday party last night, so my voice is trash. So forgive me today, but we had a really good time last night.
Hey, we got
That's
a little
what's
bit.
up.
We got a little bit of liquid encouragement right here. I know you have it's the coffee. You don't got to say what it
Yes,
is.
yes, just coffee for me. I
Oh,
am
oh,
it's just coffee for me. It is a little
It's too
eggnog in
early.
here, but non-alcoholic. I'm sober, so I do not drink. But let me, you know what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna grab a tree. Look, hold on.
okay.
It's too early.
I need something to feel like I'm with you in
There we
this.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but you ain't. Look at that there. Boom.
What's your
Mi-
with the light.
Mine
Okay, hold
light
on.
up.
Since we're talking
Oh
about not
wait.
being able to sing,
And
we can't sing.
and
Wait,
what
we
we
got
doing?
making spirits. Where's the
there we
rest? Is it bright? Is
make
it
spirits.
yes? Making
Making
spirits
spirits
bright.
bright.
I like
Okay.
I
it.
was
You
Yeah,
got
so
your
I
hat
was
on. I see you
showing
dropping. You
Mike.
got your
I
black
was showing
Santa.
Mike.
I got.
I have on earrings that are reindeer, but you can't see them because the headphones.
Because of the
But
headphones.
they're
Oh,
so
I see. Oh, I
cute.
see. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, I love those. Those are adorable. I do. You got a little red scarf on the reindeer. Reindeer is not gonna catch cold. What's everybody's favorite Christmas song?
Oh my God.
What's the favorite Christmas song?
We will actually have a debate about that later on today. Who want to go first?
I will.
Yeah,
Let us know. Let us know.
Let it. Of course, we talking about Boys to Men, right?
Boys to Men.
Let it snow.
No,
Let
like, you know.
snow.
No.
Oh, not the Boys to Men one. You talking about the original?
Which one?
You talking about the original one? To Shake Get Out.
Girl, sing that for me because I don't even remember how it go.
To Shake It Out.
To say we about to.
How's it go? I don't even know.
How's it go?
We
Y'all
put me on the spot.
No. I wanna know about your original black and white version. Give it to me.
To say we gotta take away your black card today.
Give it to me.
To
This
say
old Miracle on 34th Street ass song. Give it to me.
Come on.
What is it?
Come on.
Not even the new one, not the in color. No, not Miracle on 34th Street in color. This is black and white. Give it to me. Where's the black and white? Let us know. It's your favorite song.
They play it cold.
Okay, come on. Leave the floor. We're gonna leave the floor for today. Come on, give it to us.
You know the one that goes, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good. The weather outside is frightful.
And the weather is so delightful. Since we no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
You're right. That's a pretty one.
Okay.
It's pretty. I'm hating. That's a pretty song. You're right.
Okay.
Mike, give it to me. What's yours?
Luther. What is it go? It's Christmas. I just listen to the song, but when you get put on the spot,
it's always hard, right? You get put on the spot.
It's always hard. Okay, bump that. Silent Night by the Temptations.
Temptations. That was mine.
That's mine.
Okay. All right. That's all right.
That's mine. That's mine.
That's everybody.
That's everybody's.
When you take that first sip and it says in my mind.
It's the beat. I love the beat. The beat
when it drops, you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like the good old Santa Claus. Come straight to the ghetto.
Hey. Okay. So that version I don't like. I like the Death Row Snoop Dogg version. Santa Claus. Ooh. Go straight to the ghetto. I like that one.
Oh my! When the edit come out, we got to put that on the outro. I feel like that needs to be how we go out. So we ain't started. We haven't started any of this podcast yet.
Hey, we have a good time.
That's completely off track. But you said it was a good episode.
It's okay. Hey, look, we are here to highlight you and have a good time with you. This is
yes.
Whenever our guests come on, we tell them, look, this is about you, have a good time with you, and highlight you and what you do. So
that's what we gonna do. I'm always here.
I have a question now. So how do y'all feel about Chris Brown's Christmas song? Do y'all like that one?
This Christmas. Yes. I love that jam. Honestly, and the movie for me is still everything. I love this Christmas. I thought it was a really great addition to your modern Christmas movies. We all have our classics, your Home Alones and your the Miracle on 34th Streets and all the old black and whites, all the good classics.
Die Hard.
Oh, love a Die Hard. Come on, every single year I'm watching that with the family. I haven't done it yet this year because I'm waiting to go home, and that is on my family's top 10 list. And we will be doing nothing but binging movies for 4 days straight. And Die Hard is the first one. That's how we get it
one of them.
In the McWilliams household.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we do.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen.
I shut down anybody who say that's not a Christmas movie. Okay.
Exactly.
Bruce Willis was trying to get home to his wife. Okay. And not only that, but then he saved his family. And what is a Christmas movie if it's not about saving the family? What is a Christmas movie? That was high stakes. That's a high stakes Christmas film right there.
Yes.
At the airport. At the airport on the second one. Yeah.
Everywhere you went in the movie, there was Christmas decor. Come on now, that's a Christmas film, and I go down 10 toes down on anybody who says it's not.
I stand on 10 toes down. I stand on business in black Air Force Ones.
Yeah. Not the black ones.
With the black Air Force Ones.
You just had to bring it. You just had to bring it to the black ones.
I'll take it there.
Oh Lord.
There's a bank, straight up black Air Force
Ones.
All of them. Well, like I said, let's go ahead and get to these questions. Like I said, we must touch. But
this
hey,
podcast is devoid of questions. There's no actual questions on this.
I know.
We just out here
We just go
talking.
straight to it.
Smack.
We should have
You
talked.
just out here talking about what is better, the preacher's wife or
Ooh, shit, we know the preacher's wife.
Oh, I forgot about the preacher's wife.
I forgot about the preacher's wife.
You can't forget about.
wife.
You know what's
Oh,
crazy about the preacher?
Denzel, Courtney B. Vance,
Come on.
Whitney
yes.
Houston.
Come on.
That movie was everything. Yes.
Come on now.
Yes.
Come
It was
on.
a little toxic though. She did fall in love basically with.
Can't-
I mean,
With an angel,
imaginary person.
exactly.
I mean, it was what the '90s. The '90s. No,
It was the 90s. We did anything in the 90s. You know, there was no, everybody, I don't know what was going on. In the 90s, there were like rooms where people were like, what about this? And somebody had a very questionable idea, but everybody in the room went, sounds good. There was really no,
Let's do it.
like, it was not a lot of critical at that time. It feels good. Let's do it. Let's do it.
It was just
Yeah,
nice to
pretty much.
have these black queens and kings a part of this one film. And you know what's so crazy? You brought that up. I didn't even realize that Denzel was wearing the same suit the whole movie.
The whole time.
So I got a little bit older. I'm
Yes.
like, this nigga.
He ain't washed today.
Yeah. It was
He ain't
very,
washed today.
what was the movie with when Bruce Willis was he was the ghost too, and there was a little
Sixth
boy
Sense.
in it, Haley Joel,
Sixth Sense, yeah.
Yeah, it was very that, where it was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute, now when we look back,
Yeah,
he was in the same suit the whole time,
Mhm.
wasn't he?
it's kind of.
Mhm.
This is a good movie, but that's kind of highly unsanitary.
Well, it wasn't real clothes. They
But it
were
wasn't-
he was wearing the threads of the Lord.
Yeah, the threads of the Lord.
Yeah,
In
it
the
was
spirit of
the
God.
cloth
Yeah.
of the Lord.
He
Yeah,
was a
said
full
the-
angel.
The threads of the Lord. I gotta put. I
that's
gotta
right.
put that.
It was
I'm
the
about
cloth
to
of the
clothe
Lord.
myself in the threads
Amen.
of the Lord every day. I
Yeah.
want him to be
I know that's right.
interwoven into my spirit. That's what we aiming for.
Amen and amen again. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, Cynthia Kaye McWilliams. Like she said, if y'all know who she is, and you should, you're finna know who she is right now.
Oh yeah, you gonna know her real soon.
You should, man. And we'll get into the whole actor summit and everything else, which I was very excited that you were there. And I know you just did another one, but we'll get to that later on.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did just do another one.
Yeah, I know you be so busy. I know nights turn.
Man,
to
I
days.
barely just remember. I'm back in Chicago. I've been on a plane and train, automobile, literally, for the past 3 weeks straight. But I'm here. I'm in Chicago. That's where we are, back home. Okay.
Like
All
my
right, hit
mind.
me. What we talking about today, y'all? What we talking about?
We talking
Let's
about
get
you, Queen. We talking about you.
Yes.
As she sips
We
her coffee.
celebrate.
That's what I'm
Yes.
talking about. So
Y'all know I love my coffee. Y'all been watching the Coffee Connections with Cyn segment
yes, ma'am. And I
that I've
love
been doing online? Yeah, I really, how that happened. Honestly, this is how that happened.
how that
My team and I, we were talking about, this is very rare. I'm sharing strategies over here with you.
Nah, go ahead.
My team and I, we were sitting up and we were talking about the fact that I'm leaving. I'm literally leaving to go to South Africa for about 4 months to be filming the season 2 of Average Joe. Right. So I'm going to be gone for a while and we're trying to figure out what can we do, to make sure that I don't lose connection with my audience here and that everybody still feels like, I'm connected. So we thought about what could we establish that was something we could carry on while I was in South Africa. But the thing about doing content, and I know you guys know, right? It's just, it's a lot to launch a whole new thing. And particularly for women, because y'all could throw on anything, put on a t-shirt, put on a jacket. You might be bottom. I don't know what's going on the bottom of you right now. You could be in your bottom.
Don't ask. No question.
No, okay. Ain't nobody he distracted us with all the lights up here because we want to not look down. Don't look down.
I'm in the confines of my own home.
That's your business, and that's your business. But for us, we got to do a lot of prep. It's always a lot of hair, makeup, whatever, And so I said I'm very big about, my brand is really authenticity and joy. That's what I'm all about. And so I know that there's a certain amount of what I do as an actress that's about presentation, right? But I also am at some point, I want to make sure that I'm being authentic and letting people see me, sometimes just barefaced. And so I was literally saying that I was like, I wish we could do more content, but in order to do that, I would need to not have to require lighting and makeup and all that because we ain't got time to do a whole nother setup and segment. And then we just kind of said, well, what if it was? What if we just got together every week and I just literally, when I got out of the shower and I washed my hair or, did whatever it is I was doing, what if we just did a segment that was just me having coffee, sitting down, chatting, and it wasn't a lot of production behind it. And then we said, I like it. And I was like, it's my favorite thing to do really is just drink my coffee. And then I literally said, and I just want to connect with the people. And then my team was like, Coffee Connections with Cyn. And so we started that segment because we just knew that like it would be exciting that for all time going forward, no matter where I'm at. So now when I'm in South Africa and I'm on my little hotel balcony, you guys can still be with me, but the new background instead of the living room of Cyn City Creative, it will be the backdrop of the mountains of Cape Town. And I'm right off of the marina. And so I'll take you across literally the globe with me, and we'll still wake up and have coffee together. And that was just something we really wanted to do to make sure that like I could stay connected with all of my base, you know, in both home here, home in Kansas City, home in LA, home in New York, home in Atlanta. You know, the whole point is that I have so many different homes, but I always want to feel like we can be at home together, sipping our little coffee and chatting.
And chatting. I
That's
love
so
that.
nice. Yes.
Yeah. And
That's
shout out.
dope.
Yeah.
And
I love
congratulations to you going to South Africa. You know,
Thank you.
back to the motherland. That's dope. I would like to go myself.
I was gonna say, have you ever been?
No, ma'am, I have never been.
It'll be my first time too, man. I'm excited. That's another reason why I'm excited to go and share. Is, you know, everybody ain't gonna make it to South Africa, you know.
Mhm.
So, and I always, every time I travel anywhere, I try really hard to like make sure I document those journeys, not just for my own personal memories, but also to bring people with me, you know, to encourage people to get their passport, stamp it, and let's get out and see this world. But also, if you can't, it's just great to be able to share some things with, again, not necessarily always like those pictures and, you know, the travel magazines, but literally just on the ground with somebody who's gonna get excited and geek the way that you might, you know, or go see the things that you want to see. I like to stay live with people and be like, where do you want to go? I have a day off once a week, every week while I'm there. So let's talk about where do you want me to go? What do you want me to see? What do you want me to explore with you, for you? So I'm excited about doing that and just traveling and taking y'all to South Africa with me.
That's gonna be
Yes.
really beautiful. That's on my list. I said that whenever I do go overseas, that has to be the first place I go. I used
Yeah.
to
Mm.
work at I used to work at Sam's Club overnight, and this one guy who said he used to stay in the city of Cape Town, and he said you can actually see like ocean life migrate across and he said it's just so beautiful, like the
Yeah.
dolphin, whales, all that, and like he sold because we all culture. So I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, gotta go there. So when you do go
Yeah.
there and enjoy yourself, be safe, of course.
I
Yes.
hear they have penguins. They're South African penguins. I did not know this. I was like today years old the day that I found out. I was like, what? There's like a whole species, breed of penguin that is on the beaches of
What?
South Africa. Isn't that crazy?
That is
Hmm.
so dope.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I can't wait to go and take some pictures of
Mm.
them.
Enjoy
For real.
yourself, Queen, for real.
Yeah,
Yes.
enjoy
Please take
yourself.
a lot of pictures and content,
Oh,
everything.
I will. I'll
Definitely
be
share.
posting. I will be posting constantly. You know, I
Please.
look at social media as our own little TV network.
Hmm.
Social
Mm-hmm.
media is really, for me, it's like everybody gets to own your own cable network and you get to decide the programming. And so I'm like,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, I encourage people always to like not just think of social media as a place to engage with other people's lives, but also to share yours and to really remember that like everybody, every one of us, we really have such an incredible story to tell, and we're all trapped in our own little bubbles, particularly post COVID. You know, that really changed the way we interact. But I'm like, instead of always just scrolling, there's always really cool things like this wonderful podcast that you guys are doing, where we can tap
Thank
in
you.
with people, really connect, build community, but then also engage in that conversation. And that it really doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have to be that we're on the phone, you know, looking, but there's
Hmm.
also space for us to get in and be a part of things, you know, whether that's through comments, dialogue,
Hmm.
that in our best case, right? Not like ugly, nasty trolling, but in the best case, what social media can really do is bridge some of those gaps that have been made by all the distance between us. Not to
Mhm.
mention just schedules and life and demands and family and kids and whatever else we got going on. But this is a really wonderful place, I feel, to be able to connect with each other and talk to each other and travel with each other. And, you know,
Yes.
it's like we can literally multiply our life experiences by tapping into each other's experiences. But that
Hmm.
means we also have to share, you know?
Yes. I have a
Totally.
hard time sharing sometimes, and I've been doing better.
Good.
But when you're so secretive and you're scared to like really share a lot of things, because so much criticism, you have to get to that point
Yeah.
where it's like, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna be criticized anyway, so just I'm putting it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I
And
am
here's
a
the thing,
certified
somebody's
ghost
always going,
follower.
you are a certified ghost follower.
Yes, right. I don't like no pictures, but I like it, but I don't like it.
Terrible. That's what they call a troll. You know that? They call that trolling.
I know,
Just scrolling and trolling.
just scrolling. Ooh,
He ain't
I
liking
didn't
no
scroll.
pictures.
Ooh,
Terrible. Why you
like
gonna
that one.
trap all that? Don't trap your love in your heart. You can trap that. Let people know you love them. Just, hey, you should know better. You out here producing content, and that's how we create. We gotta be,
oh, like nobody.
Mike the person who show up to the party and don't bring nothing. Don't bring no chips, no ice, nothing. Just at the party. Just at the
Nobody
party
didn't
in the
tell
back
me
with a
nothing.
plate.
I'm just here to have a good time.
Nobody didn't tell me nothing.
Just here
Why
to have a
go
good
a
time.
party?
He ain't gonna say
They
nothing. He ain't
always
gonna
need
do
ice.
nothing.
Everybody always need ice. You can at least show up with some ice.
Some ice.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. All right, y'all. See you.
Mike don't show up with nothing but foil.
If you can't cook nothing, at least bring the ice. Oh my goodness, Cyn, you are a joy. You are a joy.
Yes.
So tell us real quick about. So was it a theater background? Is that where you started?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah, I got my degree from DePaul University. I got my Bachelor of Fine Arts in acting. DePaul University was founded as the Goodman School of Drama, and it is very much a theater-based training program.
right.
Now, in the years since I graduated, they have developed a really wonderful cinematic department as well. So now they also have, they own stages at CineSpace Studios. That's one of the classes that I teach, is introducing actors who are trained in theater to learn how to use their skill set for the medium of the camera. But yeah, it's a really wonderful acting program. And that's where I started. I really started back in Kansas City, honestly, writing plays. I was audacious as a young person. I really just, probably was just dumb enough and excited enough to feel like, I could do anything. I loved it. And so I would write plays, submit them to local theater companies, and got fortunate enough to have some of them get picked up. So when I really started, I was writing and directing. There was a situation that happened where one of my actresses got sick and couldn't go up. So I knew the lines, obviously. I went up for her. And that was kind of when I caught the acting bug. And so very shortly after that, I sort of pivoted in life and started, instead of going into, I was at an academic a high school called Sumner Academy of Arts and Sciences. It was a really, again, rigorous program, college prep academy. And I really thought that I would go to school like for, something very academic, because that's what I was being trained for. But I realized this passion I had was sort of bigger than me. My mom says I didn't choose it, it chose me. And then I started auditioning for, instead of applying for colleges just for academia, I also applied for some acting programs, but my main one was DePaul. I really loved the rigor of their program, the fact that it was a conservatory. And I got accepted. At that time, there was this really unconventional thing called the cut system. So they only accepted 50 students. And then every year they cut those students down so that by the time you graduated, you only graduated with about 20 students. And eventually over the years, that ended up being very, like I said, controversial. And a lot of, I think, students and parents kind of, was against it and suing folks because they were like, hey, man, we didn't pay for 3 years of school and we didn't even get no degree out of this. But they were transparent about what the cut program was. But, people still, I get it. So now we don't do that anymore at DePaul. But it still is very much a rigorous program, and very much about text, technique, understanding the fundamentals of acting, as well as using your full body instrument. We do everything there, like really cool stuff from yoga is like a whole course, stage combat. We work with rapier and daggers. We do Shakespeare as an entire year and course of training. So many things, but really no stone is unturned in making sure that we're turning out actors who have a wide breadth of knowledge, and then who are able to take that knowledge and apply it to any medium.
That is so freaking beautiful. I love that too, because like you said, it teaches you everything that you should know. Well, that they want you to know going into this profession. Because I used to go to Lone Star College, and that's where I start really digging my teeth into theater and acting and everything else. And my teachers showed us that the stage combat. He didn't teach us, well, not Meisner and stuff, Rossi, but I found that on my own and everything else. And just learning, I tell a lot of people that I talk to, you have to understand like the cadence in your voice, the placement of your body, your eye movements, everything, like means to go upstage, go downstage. Don't turn your back to the audience. A lot of that comes from theater, and that's where I started. And I like how you said that y'all show how you show your students to how to transition from stage to on screen, because there's a lot of people that we
Mhm.
met, some lost ones, and they need that training. So thank you for
Yeah.
sharing about the
Yeah.
pause.
And there's a
Yes.
lot of great acting classes in any city, basically. There's always going to be some. And if they're vetted and like, it's because, sometimes people just try to take your money. But,
Hmm.
if they're vetted classes, there can be really wonderful training. So it's not to say that I think you have to go to college to get training in acting or that you have to have your Bachelor of Fine Arts in or MFA in acting. I
Hmm.
do think training matters, though, wherever you get it. This is a very tough business. It's an incredibly competitive business. And these days, again, post COVID, post strike, particularly post strike, the landscape has changed.
Hmm.
Um, in some ways for the better for young talent coming in because it's democratized the industry, right? But in a lot of ways for veteran talent, if you have never gotten that training, it's very difficult to keep up, you know? Also now I feel like it's so important to have training, not just in the fundamentals of performance. You're always going to need those because without those, you can have a gimmick, a lick, a hit, but you could be a personality who's online or, have some sort of like influencer sort of following, but you won't be able to stay the course because eventually that camera will come in close and catch you and we will see the
Hmm.
truth of you. And it's so important that you're ready with the skill set to be able to retain and hold an audience. And that means you have to really understand the story you're telling and you have to understand how to tell it. And people will get close enough and get in your eyes and see that you don't know what you're talking about if you don't have that
Hmm.
training. But I do think for those people who have the training, sometimes what they miss is they don't understand the changing media landscape and that now engagement outside of the work you do on camera and on stage does matter. It really does because we're competing with so many things and we have to
Yeah.
be able to not only retain attention through a performance, but retain an audience as well. So I really believe in, and maybe that's the part of me being just that age. I'm just old enough that I appreciate old school, talent and credibility and fundamentals. But I'm also just young enough that I'm like, hey, y'all, we got to make sure we learn from these kids. Don't
Hmm.
turn your nose
Yep.
up at them. Pay attention because they're the new wave. And when we get too stuck in our ways and think like, oh, well, in the old days we didn't have to. Well, the old days is gone and the new days are coming. So
Yeah,
what we gonna do?
yeah,
We
Right.
gonna be old in the old days, or
yeah.
we gonna stay young in these new days? You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
Bridge the
Yeah.
gap.
We have to evolve. We have to evolve with what's going on.
evolution is the
It's
name of the game.
Amen.
like one of my main mottos is evolve or get left behind, and that's pretty much how it is. You have to keep evolving yourself with the time, or you will get left behind.
Yep. My one of my favorite quotes. This is from it's from Irma Bombeck book. I don't everybody ain't nobody on this audience even know they definitely don't know who Irma Bombeck is. But from my old book, and it is your history is not your destiny.
Mm.
Um, and I really always love that because it's about the idea of evolution, but it's also about letting go of
Yep.
whatever it is that you're tying yourself to who you were. Even when things like what you said earlier about like, it's difficult to post or to, share or whatever, right? It's about saying, even if it's about everything that we've already said in this conversation, right? Is, oh, I only like, I only look, I don't like. At any second, we can stop saying who we are based on what we've done at any
Right.
second. You could literally be like, yeah. And so now it's just, I used to be someone who looked online and didn't like. And now, because of new information that entered my brain, I've immediately adjusted. And I said, you know what? It's important that I let people know when I appreciate what they're doing, that I share love, that I congratulate and appreciate in real time instead of waiting until later because the later might not come. I used to be someone who was scared to share. And then I said, no, right now I got new information that dropped into my spirit. So today, as of right now, I'm a person who's open and transparent with boundaries,
Come
right?
on.
Because I do understand that everybody doesn't get to have license to all of me. But what I'm not doing is sharing only based on my comfort level because I'm going to push past fear and realize that I'm not afraid of someone's opinions of me because people who have opinions are usually people who don't have the boldness or the courage to come forward and share themselves. And I'm not going to be one of those people, right?
Come
We can
on.
always in any second say, I'm done. I'm done with what I was doing. I'm now only going to be concerned about what I want to do. And every single second of every day we can keep evolving. But the way we evolve is also by letting go of the history and realize that my history is not my destiny. And your destiny gets bigger the more you let go of the past you're trying to hold on to.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for that
Nice, nice.
one.
Appreciate that.
we haven't touched right now.
Amen. Hey, God is with us
No,
all the
but look,
time. All the
Amen.
time.
somebody needs to hear that. Not only just us, but it may be somebody else, when we post and show this story that, definitely needs to hear that. So thank you
Exactly.
for
That's what I'm
saying that.
saying, man. Your story
Yeah.
matters. It's not just mine. It's not yours. It's everybody. I'm like, we have wisdom. We're sitting on so much. Everybody's got their experiences, and
Hmm.
it's always only going to be yours if you don't share it with anybody. But
Yeah.
Right.
like you said, you never know. I used to think that a lot. I think people worry a lot too about being like, oh, that she thinks she know everything. Here's the thing. Maybe you do. Maybe you catch this one glimpse, and so all you go is like, Cynthia thinks she know everything, and that's fine. That's fine. But if you're anybody who pays attention to me and who's been with me with any length of time, then all I can do is trust and believe and have faith that you'll also tap into my heart, and that you'll know that I also have a great deal of humility, that I absolutely don't have any of the ended answers because all the answers are in process. And also that one of the best the most important things I can lean on is not what I know, but the fact that I want to surround myself with people who know more than me. So I'm constantly increasing my knowledge base because I'm not too big to say what I don't know and go, oh, I don't know.
Mhm.
I do not know. I do
Yeah.
not know. But
Yeah.
tell me about that.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
wait.
Yeah.
me all the time.
You're not afraid to listen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
You know that I'm not afraid to share, and I'm also not afraid to listen. But I have
yeah.
confidence in both. I have confidence in my ability to shut the up sometimes and go, I don't know, so I should probably stop talking and listen. And I'm also confident enough to know that, like, I do know a lot of things. I have a lot of experience, and it would be a crime and a sin for me to hold on to that, gatekeep that, and not share it with somebody else. Because again, my passion is to see you win. So if there's anything I can do to give you a cheat code to take some of my experiences, some of my failures, and give them to you so that you don't have to go through it, please, Jesus, let me help you. Because I tell you, it's hard. It's hard out
Yeah.
here.
What you know what amen on that, and I definitely want
Seriously.
to ask about when we was at the summit. You did mention the actor summit in Chicago. You did mention that you learned some from your castmates, like
Absolutely.
Samuel Jackson shared something with you,
Yeah.
um, Kevin Hart and others. And there was like, and I thought that was so dope and so beautiful because the industry that we're in, acting industry, there's some vultures out there that
Mm.
try to prey on women, and I like that these men that been there for quite some time that you look up to and know your peers say, "Hey, sis, come here. Let me show you about this real quick." And you touched on
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I think especially right now, and it's a shame because like you said, there are vultures. There are it's just tough. It's tough because that gets so much more attention than
Mhm.
people being good, doing right, whatever. And it's also tough because a lot of times someone who's been good or done a lot of good things, one bad thing, and it will tarnish their entire reputation.
yeah,
And that's also
Right.
a very difficult line because, particularly as a woman, I'm always going to be on the side of women, right? I'm
hmm
never going to be someone, I don't care if it's a friend, a dear friend, someone I love. If there's a woman who claims to be a victim of someone, I am never going to be someone who says, she lying, because I know that person. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I don't know. I wasn't in the room.
Mhm.
So what I'm not
Mhm.
going to do is say she lying. But what I'm also not going to do is immediately assume that someone I know and love or someone whose work I've enjoyed, that everything about their life and their life's work is now null and void because they're amidst an investigation. Because I understand on both sides, right? That there are men and women who can be vultures and who can prey upon people and who can do things that they get away with because of their position and stature. And people turn a blind eye. But I
hmm
also know there are people who prey upon those people
hmm
because they know that they're in the limelight and they know that they're right. So it's
yeah,
like, I know that both sides are true. So what I am not going to do is to ever dismiss a victim's story, but I'm also not going to immediately condemn anyone because I wasn't there. We weren't there. We were not there. And I think as a culture, we have to both have grace for people whose life is in the limelight. And we also have to have empathy and sympathy for victims who are having the boldness to tell stories and admit their truth of an experience or their perception of a truth. Because a lot of times, too, particularly with a lot of these sex crimes that are coming up, We have to really understand that there's a cultural thing going on too,
Yeah.
that we really need to deal with, where consent is vague now
Yeah.
because men and the power, or even women again sometimes, but power has its own um, power in closed doors, right? When a door closes, when we're in a private space, just the power that a person brings with them can then have power in a circumstance of sexual interaction, right? In intimate situations. And these aren't things we talk about, and they're very everybody's sensitive about it. But we have to
Yes.
understand that sometimes the power we carry, just because we're such a culture that's so enamored, right, with celebrity and status, that sometimes people get in situations where they're offering consent based on their eagerness to have proximity to someone in power, but then they're withdrawing their consent physically, with their behavior, their action, their closed legs, their clothes, whatever, but maybe not verbally. So in
Right.
their minds, they've withdrawn consent, but when they don't say anything, the person in power feels like we're here, the door is shut, we've engaged in this intimate interaction, and they're not always clear about what
Yes.
happened, right? And there's just such an there's a lot of minutia in what goes on with consent, where a lot of times, again, people are being painted as bad guys when they're not always, but maybe they're just unclear about the amount that their power influences and sometimes oppresses the voice of a person who goes
Yeah.
into a room being an individual and comes out feeling like a victim.
Yeah.
And that's just minutia we don't talk about. Now there are other things that are just, people underage don't need to be in rooms with people of age, period,
Yeah.
point blank.
Do
There are
do
other
you
things like
oh, go ahead.
violence and force is without a doubt, without question, you cannot debate that, right? So there
Right.
are areas where there is literally no gray, and we need to
Right.
just hold those people accountable when they need to be held accountable. But in all the gray areas, we have to do better about understanding what consent means on both ends, with women being able to understand how to articulate our voice and have our power, and with men understand, or with the powerful party understanding that when you have power, you have a greater responsibility to clarify consent. And that's
Yeah.
just important. And that ain't what we meant to talk about right now, but I
Hey,
do think it's important because you brought up
No.
just some of the men in my
yeah,
life:
yeah.
Samuel Jackson, Kevin Hart, Damon Wayans, Michael Chiklis. I'm trying to think of all of the men that I've worked with that have
Yeah.
been
Right.
wonderful to me in their power, right? In knowing that they had a lot of power and presence, and that never made me feel uncomfortable. Not only that, but on the other side, made me feel empowered, made
Yeah.
me feel like, hey, sis, little sis, I got you. I'm behind you. I want to see you do well, and I want to make sure you're safe. And I think that has been my experience more often than not. Dion Cole, Malcolm Barrett. I'm thinking of all my current castmates.
Yeah.
Michael Trucco, like I am around Eric Dean Seaton, my executive director, Rob Cullen, my showrunner. Like, I work with so many men, have been around. Chris Spencer, incredible comedian and writer. Stan Lathan, incredible producer. Chris Robinson. Like, I've worked with so many incredible men who've never made me feel unsafe,
Right.
and I think that it's important that we give homage and credit to them as often as we cast aspersions and question on people. So again, I can only speak to my experience. That's not to undermine
Right.
anyone else's experience.
Right.
It's just to
Right.
say that, again, there's perspectives, and I think it's
Right.
important that we share them all, and that we get clearer about what minutia is, so that we can have less victims, and less, honestly, victims on both sides, because sometimes there are people in power who become victims of the very power they possess, right? And the influence they possess. So on both sides, I never want to see a woman or anyone in a marginalized position be taken advantage of. But I also never want to see a person who's just trying to do good and reach people feel like they can't do that because now they're unsafe. Like you said, Tashay, they scared. They scared to connect. because sometimes connection is so fraught with like, I don't know how I'm going to be received, right? So we've got to figure out how we get really clear about consent, and have these conversations more.
With everything that's happening within to say you talking or she on mute? Okay, with everything that's been happening within the industry as of late, do you believe like later on in, because the old, I want to say, frat brother kind of
Mm,
back in the day, the old Hollywood, casting
mm.
couches and all of that, that's starting to winder down if it's not already now. What do you see the future of women like in the industry, in the entertainment industry, no matter where do you see that stands? Like,
Oh, I see us continuing to assert our voice as writers, um, as
yeah,
camera operators,
yes, ma'am.
taking lead roles in every department. Department heads of not just hair and makeup, but department of props, department. I see more and more women becoming key leaders in
Mhm.
the filmmaking process, from directors and writers as well as in front of the camera, right? And then actresses becoming more executive producers, so they have more say in hiring. When that happens more, that boys club you're referring to gets
Yes, ma'am.
dismantled. And that
Yes, ma'am.
doesn't mean that when we become the leaders that we go, oh, I'm only hiring women. That
Right.
means that as women, we're just able to make the same decisions that men have been making for years. And that hopefully those decisions will also be inclusive, right? That as women, we can become responsible for casting and filling our sets with
Mhm.
a diverse array of people, so
Mhm.
that the stories we're telling are represented accurately and truthfully, both behind the camera and in front of the camera. And I believe that women will do that better and
Mhm.
quicker, because women are not so threatened by losing, right? It's just like in many ways, right? The people who've held on to power for so long, they're more threatened like by the fear of like losing it because they've been
Yes,
holding on to it. But women and people of color tend
ma'am.
to, when being put in positions of power, tend to govern that power, steward that power with more equity, because we understand what it means to be left out, right?
Mhm.
That tends to be what happened over and over in companies, in production, in a number of ways. Shoot, in churches, it don't matter. I'm telling you, across the board, when women make decisions, they tend to do so with more equity, care, concern, less HR issues, right? It
Mhm.
just happens that way because
Yeah.
women tend to be concerned about actual climate of the company and not just hard numbers. But we also know how to balance a little bit better. Everybody know women are better multitaskers. I hate to say it.
Yeah. You
We
know
all
what?
know.
And I'm glad that you brought this up because we definitely was going to bring up a question about women empowerment because you said you was talking about that at the summit.
Mhm.
And when I'm writing something like a scene or like whatever I'm working on, I send it to a female friend and get their thoughts on it, and they give me the kudos on it because I need to have that voice. Or I
Right.
even tell her, I say, hey, I want you to write this with me because even though I grew up with a lot of women in my family, I don't know everything, and I need to make
Right.
sure that this is correct. Even on this podcast that you're on right now, the when you came on last time, we had to reschedule. The gentleman that was on here, Chris and Mike. First, it started off with the three of us, and then we were like, we need a woman's touch, and that's
You
what we
need a female voice, a female perspective. Yeah.
and that's what we talked to Shay. We met to Shay on set, and we was like, yeah, let's bring her in. She was the way how she carried herself, the way she talked, and then y'all can
Yeah.
get to rooms that we cannot, and the way how y'all carry yourself with grace and elegance. It just worked, and Shay just been our sister since then, and we just been ride or die since then. 4 years in, so thank y'all. So that's another round of applause for women, for real, because we cannot do anything without y'all. Like I'll be honest, with you, I can't.
Yes.
I can carry myself. I'm like, but I can't do that without a woman. I can't do it. I need
It's
that
like
woman's perspective.
we definitely don't want to like have the guys to feel like, if we start, or I mean, like if we continue to give more powerful positions that like we just gonna have this power trip. Like we just gonna be, look, the woman's in charge and y'all just need to listen to us. No, we want really to the things that have been complaints, like we want to work those issues out and make things smooth, and we don't mind working hand in hand with the guys when it comes to the production, but sometimes having a team at the top instead of just one person could maybe help, and let that be a little bit diverse, you know.
And I love, and honestly, again, I'm always going to say I am unapologetic about my mission to champion women because I'm a woman, right? So there's a self-interested element of that. But more importantly, it's my actual belief that when we do things together, it's better. You know, I do believe that having the input from one another helps. But unfortunately, again, we've been left out of a conversation in so many spaces for so long that I have to champion us first, right?
Yeah.
The same way for people of color, I feel like, hey man, we've been left out of so many rooms that we got to get in them first before I can be worried about, right? The equity is so far behind that, like, I just need to, we got to get now. Once we get here, we could start, you know what I mean, doing these, but I got to get us to a place first. So like I said, you know, Cyn City Creative is an unapologetically Black owned and woman owned business. I have a prime, like it's definitely still diverse in the sense of I have 3 men on my team, but there are, or four, sorry, four. But there are 14 people on the team and there's only 4 men. And that's okay with me because I value what each of those men bring to the team. But I also am like, it's okay to have women be the dominant force sometimes instead of always being the other way around. I'm okay with that. I'm very comfortable with that because again, it's normally not that way. You know, I've gone into so many spaces where there's only one woman or there's only one person of color. And so I am trying my best to, in as many spaces as I can, switch those dynamics around so that we can all learn how to be on the other side of things. Because sometimes that's important, you know, to say, oh, what does it feel like to be in a space where I'm not the majority? What does it feel like when I'm a majority most of the to be a minority? And I think we all need to have that experience. Just like I feel like everybody should be in a service position at some time in their life. Like I really feel like growing up, I'd be like, young people should wait tables, you know, do something in service, volunteer at they whatever, because it go to an old folks home. Like, do people still say old folks home? Is that inappropriate?
Yes, they do.
Are we
We're,
supposed
Yes.
to? Senior
retirement,
Old
population?
folks.
I don't know.
Old
I'm
folks.
always
No,
worried
it's
I'm
old
gonna get
folks.
canceled. Yeah, old
retirement
folks.
center.
See,
Old
retirement
folks.
center. There we
Retirement
go.
center.
That's appropriate.
Yeah.
Retirement center. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I used to
Yes.
work in one.
Volunteer somewhere
Yeah.
where your time is being of service to someone, or where you're doing something for people that is in no way servicing you, and also where you have to lessen yourself to, you know, to give more space or to elevate someone else. I think it's so important. It's
It
just
is.
so important that we have the empathy and the experience to be able to experience what it feels like to be on the bottom. Servant leadership matters. You cannot run things if you've never been in service to something. That's why I think, let me not get into our president and where we're headed, but it's important that our leadership, right? And we won't talk about what isn't, we'll just say what should be. It's important that our leadership, the people who are making decisions for a country, should understand that they're also serving the country. They're leading us. Yes, they need to have vision to lead us somewhere, but they also
Right.
need to be serving us. And how can you serve people that you've never spent any time with, that you've never humbled yourself to understand their needs, to listen, to take the time to tap in? You got to be on the ground in a community and understand what people need in any circumstance. I think leadership begins with service.
Yes.
It does. Like speaking of Cyn City Creative, like I wanted to get into like what sparked your idea to start Cyn City. Like, was there something that happened, or did you just wake up one day and say, you know, this is what I want to do, or the direction that I want to go? Like, what? I mean, it's awesome what you're doing there, but what started it?
Yeah, something very specific happened. I was with a publicity firm and I had some not great experiences. A lot of people in LA, there's like a ton of firms out there. Not to say that they're all bad, just in general, though, I would say that my personal experience is that a lot of people pay quite a bit of money on a retainer, right? And that's a thing where you're basically paying the same amount to a firm every month. to provide a certain amount of services, or representation. And a lot of actors tend to feel like they're paying that money, but they're not getting anything in return. Or that what will happen is that that you are then doing things, you're doing the work of auditioning and getting these roles. And then when you book something great, the firm is now able to do something for you, right? But it's basically based on the work you've already produced. And I think my thought was, I wish that there was a way that there was a firm that was less about waiting for an artist to do something, but more about helping them get there. Because I find that a lot, I mean, going back to even just the simple situation of how many actors I run into are like, I can't get auditions because I don't have a resume. But how do I build a resume if I can't book a role because I don't have the auditions, right? It's like this vicious cycle of like, how do I get exposure if I don't have the opportunity because I don't have the exposure, because I don't have the audience or the reach or whatever. So I just wanted to figure out how I could bridge that gap, what I could do, you know, because it was a problem even I was having being 15, 20 years into my career, right? And it's a problem that honestly, a lot of other actors at like a tier, you know, even A, like tier A actors, but tier B and tier C for sure, right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about D list. I'm not talking about off of the list. I'm talking about, you know, A list, B list actors really still struggling with feeling like after a certain period of their life, they were still like, how am I at this level? How have I done this amount of work? And I still can't get the opportunities that I'm seeing someone else have. What is making that difference, right? And so I just started like studying that, asking people, talking to other publicists, talking to people in media, talking to other actors, talking to people in music. But again, saying, I don't know everything. Let me tap in. And literally just saying, as I'm listening to people, what are some of the answers, you know, that I'm hearing, or what are some of the common problems I'm hearing, right? I think sometimes we can't figure out how to be a solution if we don't know the problems first. And after doing that for a while, what I really found was that one of the big things was that I wanted to sort of test this out in a medium-sized market, right? Here in Chicago, it's a medium-sized market. It's also between the two coasts. And I'm very passionate because I became an artist here. You know, I studied here. And the feeling of I wanted to say, what if you didn't have to leave your hometown? You know, what if you could achieve your dreams from where you are at? Stop feeling like you have to go to a coast, right, to get something, but also stop feeling like you have to go outside of your own, like that, really understanding that your story, your voice, your look, your everything is actually your best asset, that your uniqueness is the only thing you can really contribute to the industry that's not already here, right? So really learning how to do that. So what I decided was to make a thing that was less about a PR firm, right? Or if we say it's always that we're changing the P and PR, and that it's not about public relations, it's about a personal relationship. And what we do here is we sit down with you. We literally we intake new clients. We sit with you over here in Cyn City Studio, in Cyn City Creative, and we make you feel at home. We listen and we say, what is it that you want to do? What have been your obstacles? And then we help you figure out how to get from there to there. And we do that with an incredible team that I've vetted, that I've worked with for months now, so that I can say these are good people. You know, these are people that are up to my standards. These are people that are going to treat you like a celebrity, no matter who you are. And an incredible team of videographers, photographers, hair and makeup artists, a braid specialist, because I think that's an important thing, is that we have people that know how to work with our hair, men that can get these cornrows, do whatever you do. Okay, we got you. Graphic design artists, digital media strategists, people that work in media strategy, so that we can also figure out how to do your press release, how to do your EPK if that's where you're at. Or if you're still over here trying to just get headshots, we don't really do headshots, right? Because headshots are about putting you in a box. We say, let's tap into your essence. Let's get you some essence shots. What do you want to do? You want to be in a detective series? Let's create a campaign. Let's create a billboard. Let's create the key art for that. So you want something that looks like when I click on Netflix, you already in the series. I don't want to see you in a box pretending like you're trying to be all these different types of. What do you want? What do you want? Stop trying to go for what you think might be available to you, and let's get specific. What do you want? Let's build a narrative and a story around that. So we help people come up with their authentic voice, and then we help you message that to the world. And we also help you to understand that what you already have at your disposal is powerful. And then how you build that network matters. We say that here a lot. How we get there matters. We're on the journey with you. That's the whole thing here. The journey is greater than the destination. And
Mhm.
how you get there matters. And we're going to get there with positivity, encouragement, and character. We're on your team. We believe in you. And we want to help you. And if for whatever reason you come in and we think that we can't do something for you, we're not going to take your money. We'll tell you, here's what we think you need to do first before you're ready to maybe elevate into the next space, right? Because we're an
Mhm.
elevation studio. We are a brand elevation studio. So if we think that before we can take you here, you just still need to do some groundwork, we will help you figure that out too, right? Because we're
Yeah.
interested, again, I'm interested in seeing you win. And I'm going to tell you the truth. And we have a team that's going to tell you the truth, but we're going to do so with love and grace and in the privacy and safety of this space. But if you're ready, we also might walk you right downstairs and get to going because we have a studio. I own a photography studio, a self-tape studio, voiceover audition booth, a glam suite for makeup artists, a model,
Mhm.
and a full service kitchen as well. Because again, I believe in all artistry. The culinary arts is something I'm very passionate about. So if you're a chef, if you want to come in here and do a cooking series, not only can you cook in this kitchen that's fully stocked, right, but you can also use one of our videographers. You can use one of our editors to edit the material. You can use our digital media strategist to figure out how to put it out, right? We literally
Nice.
have everything here for you to make things happen. So we don't just talk about it, we can do it. Right. And that's really what it was. Is I just realized that a lot of people, one of the things that keeps them from their dreams, what I found most consistently is that people would say, I just don't have the resources. Or I don't
Mhm.
know how. Like I have these ideas, but I don't know how. I only do the thing I do. I'm not trying to do everything else. Right. So then we're here to say, you don't have to do it all, man. It's hard. It's hard trying to do it all on your own. So
Yeah, it
stop.
is.
Stop trying to do it all on your own. We are here to help. And my team is a really interesting sort of company model. We're collaborative. So everybody here also runs their own thing, right? They are also their own individual collective of create their own individual creators, right? So my photographer, my lead photographer, he also is, he might be in LA going to do a shoot. My videographer might be doing a music video. My wardrobe stylist might also be in New York styling someone for, you know what I mean? Like we do other work, but the
Yeah.
idea is that that's the thing that keeps us sharp and keeps us being able to be ready for you, right? So I don't want to own people's schedules and lives. That's not my goal. My goal is to get the sharpest, most exciting, most ready, most working people
Hmm.
in a collaborative so that when they can't do it, someone else can. And that's okay because everybody on the team is the bomb, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, man, and we just love each other and we love this creative space. It's a thing that I think a lot of people said we couldn't do because people love to say what you can't do, but I love to talk about what we can. So that's what we did.
That's something.
So
Nice.
if
Nice.
someone wanted to, learn more about how to become a part of your collaborative, your creative, where do they need to go to reach you, or to set up an interview, or how do
So
you go
several
about?
things, yeah. So if you want to get involved as an actual collaborator, right, as one of our artists, as a makeup artist, hairstylist, visual, camera person, engineer in the voiceover booth, or the self-tape engineer, any one of those things, right? You would reach out to us at Cyn City Creative. It's literally just
Mhm.
the title in a .com. CynCityCreative.com. There's a when you go on the, everybody's got their little bar on the top. You go there and it says contact us. You just go to contact us and send us a message and tell us you're interested. It'll go to either me or my director of operations, Q, and we'll get back to you. It's really that simple. If you're interested in booking the studio, right? If you want to book the space, if you're like, I'm a photographer. I want to do I want to do a photography studio, especially here in Chicago. We're on the South Side. Again, unapologetically Black owned, women owned, and we unapologetically service the South Side of Chicago. There is a whole third of the city that a lot of people ignore and don't pay any attention to, but we know it's full of this South Side. I live on the South Side. It's full of culture. It's full of creatives, and we don't want you to have to always go downtown into the north side. We want you to be able to, if you're downtown south of the loop or further south, we're here in Bronzeville. If you don't know where that's at, it's on Bronzeville on 43rd in Indiana. It's to the west of Lakeshore, to the east of 9094. We're north of historic Hyde Park community as well. We are south of South Loop. We are very centrally located. But yes, if you're on the south side and you are creative, you want to rent this space, you want to do something with your models, you want to do something, you're a hairstylist, you don't have your own brick and mortar, come rent out my studios. We're not trying to price gouge you. You still gonna make your money. But rent out the studios for the day, rent them for an hour. If you look on the site and your prices are too high, man, we're not interested in that. We're here to build community. Reach out to us again on the contact, see if we can come up with a deal. But if you're looking to book the space, just press book. There's again another thing that says book the studios. Click that. You'll see all the lists of all the different studio spaces you can book. The prices are there, very easy. There's pictures with everything. We've made it as simple as we can make it. And if you're interested in becoming a client, right, being a person who wants to come and say, I'm at this level and I want to elevate and I need a team to help me get there, then you click the button that says become a client of Cyn City. It's very, very simple. It will all lead you to a schedule, and who you're going to come in contact with is either me or Q. And then from there, we will get you sat down with the team. Even if you book the space, it's a very particular thing we do. We always concierge you. When you come in, there's someone here. It's not like you press a button and then you just open a door. There's a person here who will welcome you and greet you, show you how the space works, make sure you know how to use all the equipment, and then give you your time to do what you do. We will also check you out afterwards to make sure you didn't break none of the equipment.
Right.
So yes, the website is again www.cyncitycreative.com. Just in case, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, cyncitycreative.com.
I love that, and thank you so much for sharing that with us as well. So it's so I love it. I just love it. Like people that's helping others, helping each other, because that's what I had to do when I got to a certain plateau. I was like, nah, this ain't it, bro. And I started reaching out for the right ones, like Michael Vincent Berry, who's been on Better Call Saul and other stuff that I can't mention because you know how that is. But
NDA.
yeah, NDA. I'm not trying to get my acting coach messed up.
Don't get your
No, I'm not trying to get no. But it's dope that you see artists, and actors like yourself reaching out to others that need help to get to that next level. Because like that's where I was like looking around like this is it. I love y'all. That's beautiful. No shade, but I know it's something else going on, and I gotta reach out to the right ones who know. And then once people taught me, because it was like I think 2 years ago when I went to the Chicago. It was a Chicago acting something that was going. I can't remember it right now, but it was 2 years ago, and I went out there to Chi-Town, and that's when I found out more, and I reached out to others, and I told them about it. So when the Actors Empowerment Summit came up, I said, "Hey, y'all from A-Town, come on, let's go, and whoever can make it." And that's how we learn: reach one, teach one, iron sharpens iron. And I see this is exactly what this whole conversation is about, and it's beautiful, and I love that you're doing that, because like for you to take time out your busy day to do what you do and have a solid team, thank you so much, Cyn, for that.
No, absolutely. Like I said, it's my joy, my pleasure, my honor. I've been in all of the spaces where people are. I've been an actor working background. I've been an actor working day jobs, night jobs, overnight jobs. I've waited all the tables. I have worked in every hotel. I used to be the 5 on 10 girl when you worked at the gas station. I worked at the gas station. I worked in the coffee bar in the gas station. I've stocked shelves, I've cleaned, I've organized garages when I just was like, I don't know what else to do. I can't get a job. So let me just say for $50 an hour, I'll put it on Craigslist and maybe y'all let me clean your garage out because I clean real well. I mean, I have done everything so that I could just have enough money to put back into my career so that I could, stay in the game.
Nice.
I've been turned down. I've been given 1,000 no's to get the 15 or so yeses, right? Because really, when you look at a resume and you see people's TV shows, those are the yeses. So, if I have 15 TV shows that I've led or been a recur on, a prominent role. First of all, it was probably another 20 smaller roles that got me to those bigger roles, right? But that means, let's say it's 20 co-stars, and 10 recurs and 10 leads. That's like amazing. That's a great career, but that's 45 yeses. And I have had to endure probably 1,500 no's to find those yeses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it's very difficult to stay in the game, and I understand that. It's difficult just what it does to you mentally, and your
Mm-hmm.
spirit, like what all that rejection can do. It's difficult
Mm-hmm.
as a woman to take rejection about what you look like or your size. I've also been through that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through so many things with weight gain, weight loss. I've been through things with skin and what makeup can do to you. I've been through eating disorders. I've been through depression. And I'm very vocal about all of those things. I've been through those vultures and those bad guys that will try to take advantage of you or make you feel like you have to do something in exchange.
Yeah.
I've been through all of it, but I've also had amazing people support me, co-journey with me, encourage me, and offer me resources. And so I just feel like the more of us that do the work of saying, like, I don't want to be like the worst version of this, but I want to be the best version.
Yes.
We just get there faster
Mm-hmm.
together. And I happen to be really, really fortunate in that I mean, all my girlfriends are amazing. I don't have none of that what is that? Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't have none of that, I don't have that bad girls club. I don't have any of that in my life. I'm
Right.
really fortunate that, one of my best girlfriends, Tambra Perry, is she's out here on Brilliant Minds right now on NBC leading this show. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like we've been co-journeying together since we were both out here,
Yeah.
doing theater for $2.
Yes.
Tracy Bonner, one of my other really amazing girlfriends on camera, Chanel Azor, like I just am all of my, and then all the ones I look up to
Yeah.
that have not just co-journeyed with me, Alana Reyes, I was thinking about that, but also big sisters like Yvette Nicole Brown,
Come on.
um, and Taronda J here in Chicago.
Mhm.
Again, all my big bros, LaRoyce Hawkins, just there's so many Kev, of course, my Kev Hart, and all the guys that I worked with on that show, all my big homies. Sam is just such a great guy. Sam Jackson has been such an incredible something to me, with so many. I mean, it's like big bros, big sisters, and then everybody who's been on the journey with me. Man, it's a lot of us. And I think again, the noise is that
Mm-hmm.
we don't support each other and everybody's out for themselves. And that's not the truth, man. It's just not.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important. That's what I mean. You got to share your story in the positive as much as there's all this negativity out here. And it is my positive contribution to say, I don't know what that's about. Maybe sometimes when we're negative, we attract negativity. I don't know. That's for y'all to figure out.
Woo.
I ain't here. It's your business.
I
But
Come
hear
on
you.
now.
what I will say is that in my experience, when I've been the hardest on myself, the most critical, the most
Mm-hmm.
sort of self-hating, that's what I attract. Right. And I had to learn how to get out of those self-deprecating thoughts, that depressive cycle, and learn how to speak life into myself and how to
Mhm.
encourage myself. But when I started to do that, when I started to say, as I encourage myself, I also encourage other women, other people, my other, my circle, the community at large, other men. I say, thank you, brother. Thank you, black man. I appreciate you for what you're doing. Then I get support back, right? When
Mhm.
I start vocalizing what I want in the world, it comes back to me. I just think sometimes that, yeah, we have to be mindful of the energy we put out and realizing that that also will come back to us. So when we're hateful, when we're judgmental, when we're negative, we will get all that back. But also when we don't love ourselves, we're not going to get love, right? So start here, really, really, really work here first and
Mhm.
then start putting it out in a good way. And then I promise you, the way that the world will begin to conspire in your favor instead of conspiring against you, as you often think, right? I think people be thinking that, oh, everybody against me. Maybe everybody's not against you. Maybe it's the ways you're against yourself and that you're internalizing that. So then that's what you're projecting, and then that's what you're getting back. But when we change what's going on in here, when you're for yourself, then
Mhm.
you can be for other people because you got a clean, pure heart with love. So now you can love others. Now you can give to others, and then
Mm-hmm.
you set up for success all around, man. You can't. It can't. I'm telling you, it's the recipe. Everybody want the cheat codes, and I'll be like, the cheat code is just
Mhm.
love yourself, be good to yourself, be good to other people. It's real simple. It's real simple.
That's the best cheat code ever, right there too. And thank
Yes.
you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Shay.
Oh no, I'm just agreeing.
Yes, sis. I was gonna say, yeah. What you got to say?
Yeah, yeah. But I was gonna say as well. We can't we can't let you go before we talk about we seen you in everything from Real Housewives of Hollywood, Ptolemy Gray, love that by the way. Bosch,
Thank you.
the Invincible Girl voiceover work, the Cheated in Earth, and now Average Joe. My goodness, when I binge, I've never binge watched a show so much.
It's a bingeable. It's a binge worthy show.
Your character is a writer, ride or die. I'm not gonna spoil it. 'Cause I want everybody else to watch it. They haven't, and I'm happy that y'all come back for another season.
Me
Thank
too.
you. So, yo,
Me too.
yeah,
Hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you as a viewer. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you. I'd be like, y'all
yeah,
don't understand. I'd be like, we live or die based on your
yes,
viewership. So when
yes,
people watch things, particularly in real time, it helps us immensely. We love
yeah,
you and we say thank you for that, because there are other shows where I feel like, yeah, it's like, some of those other shows you mentioned that I've been on, and they're like, they were great shows, but
yeah,
they don't always go because people wait too long to tap in. And I get
right,
it. It's a lot of noise out here, and there's just life, like I said, it's
yeah,
5 million networks. I get it. But it's tough, So when you do watch, when you tell other people to watch, it
yeah,
really means everything to us. So thank you. Thank you
yeah,
very, very much. I appreciate you. So thank you,
yeah.
because you gave us a season 2.
Yeah, hey, look, I was enjoying it. I was like, man, look, man, I was like, come on now. Like I was sitting there cheering, and for your character and everything. I'm like,
She
yeah,
back.
there we go. I was like, Kathy is a straight up writer, and I'm like, Cyn, my
I know
goodness.
I know.
But
Hey man,
yeah,
I'm an actress. You know what I mean? So
you
Yeah.
I'm a classy lady
beautiful.
in
You
real
did.
life. But that
You,
don't mean I can't get hood. Also, there might be a little bit of me inside of there, and I'm gonna just admit that there's definitely a little bit more of me than people might expect.
she had some fun in that, but no, you beautiful, beautiful work. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Now,
you.
this part of the show, we do quick fire questions. So real quick.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we're gonna
All
make
right, I'll
this
try.
boom, bam, bang. All right.
Okay,
Here we
let's
go.
go. That's how we wrapping it up. All right, let's try.
Guilty pleasure food or snack.
Uh, Grilled cheese. I don't know. I love a grilled cheese. It just is. It's simple. It's easy. Just American, none fancy. I love peanut butter and jelly too. Honestly, yeah, that's it. Yeah, PB and J,
Okay.
grilled cheese, always gonna do me good.
Got you. Go to karaoke song.
You stacked in the back, especially in the back. Brother, wanna thank a mother for a butt like that? Can I get some fries with that shake, Zuby? If looks could kill, you
Showing
would
your
use the
age.
Uzi or a shotgun.
Showing
Bang!
your
What's up
age.
with that thing? I wanna
Showing.
know, how does
No.
it hang? Straight up, hold
Pause.
up, wait up. You a lover, like Prince said, you're a sexy mother. I like a real. I'm sorry, we went too far deep in it. But yeah, go ahead.
Showing your age.
Go ahead.
Showing your age. All right.
Okay, sorry. Quick fire, quick fire. Sorry.
Guilty pleasure movie.
Um, Guilty pleasure movie?
Mhm.
I don't even know what that means. Like a movie I'm embarrassed to say I like?
Yes.
Something that you'll watch and nobody really knows, but you know you watch it and you love it.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I feel like everything I'm watching, I actually do like, and I can't think of anything. I really can't. Y'all, I am an actress. I have a very mature palette of films. I
A
don't
very,
know.
very mature.
Okay,
Maybe
that's what I mean. Like, even when it's something, I'm not guilty about it, but like, I love, okay, I got one. Ooh, Fast and the Furious. I have watched all of them from the beginning to the
that's a
fast,
good one.
even Tokyo Drift. So yes, maybe that's something
Yes.
people expect out of me, but I don't care. I'm not guilty about it. It's an incredible action franchise. Okay,
That'll
Gotcha.
it's
work.
an
Yes.
Gotcha.
incredible action series, and also, you don't get to 10 movies for no reason. I mean, clearly, it's got a fan base.
Come on,
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
it's a ridiculous plot story. Yes, but at the end of the day, it's about the family.
family,
It's the
La
family,
family.
Familia.
La
Be-
familia. I
family.
okay.
care about the family.
Best advice you received.
From Sam Jackson, actually. Best advice
Mm,
Samuel Jackson ever gave me, which was walk through the doors that are in front of you.
Nice.
mm.
Mm.
It
Worst
just taught me a
advice.
lot about just say yes to things and go forward. Yes.
Worst. I'm sorry. Worst advice you ever received.
Oh God. I can't even blow this person up. I can't do it to them. But
No
I was a
names.
baby. I can't even do this to them. But I was a newbie in my acting days. I was just, oh my God. This person set me up to fail. This person told me that I should not come out of my trailer until I renegotiated my contract because I deserved to be paid more than what I was getting paid. This person was way further along in their career than I was. Let's just be clear. And they was coming from their perspective. They heard my salary and they was like, "Ah, sis, you way better than that. You got some." And they had me because I was young and dumb. I ain't know no better. I had the audacity to sit up in my trailer and tell a whole set full of people I wasn't coming out my trailer until I finished talking to my agent and figured out. And do you know the way they was on the mic talking about me all throughout that set? Cynthia Kaye McWilliams is refusing to come out of her trailer. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. I don't know. The director had to. Now we'll put him on because he saved my life. The director, his name is Kevin Hooks. Director was Kevin Hooks. Incredible director, black man. Again, see the way black man have my back. Black man came to me and he said, "Hey, Cyn," came in my trailer. He was like, "Hey, what is you doing? What is the what? I heard this bullshit on the mic that you not." And I was like, and I was so I said, I just, it's just that they said, and he said, yeah, I heard all that. Hey man, if you have a problem with your contract, that's fine. You talk to your agent about that, but you do that before you get here, not on the day, and certainly not. What did you do? You don't even have a career like that. Like you two shows in. You 2 shows into your career. We've given you the most episodes you've had on television, and you think that we are who you want to have your beef with? No. And he was like, "But I know you, and I know your heart. I do. I know you, and I thank God I know you." He was literally said, "Thank God I know you," because any other director would have fired you on the spot, had another girl that looked like you, maybe better, and had taken over your role. And he humbled me so good. And I appreciated it. And he was like, "Now, get out this trailer, go do your job.
Shout
And if
out.
you want to talk about your pay later, you call your agent, you have him call us, and we will talk about that when we're not at work. But right now, there's a set of people who have been talking about you for about 20 minutes now, and they definitely gonna be looking at you crazy. And from here on out, it will be your job to not only do your job, but also to demonstrate to everybody that you are not the problem actress that you seem like you are at this point." And I took that, and from today, now to this day, I tell all my actors, I'll be like, now it's not just about being great on set. When I teach at the university, I always tell them, you're really a very small part of, it's 150 people, usually go, on any given set, working to make a thing happen. Some of them have been there for months, maybe even years, working to get this project to where it's at. You show up and you are definitely important because you're in front of the camera and you're the person who's gonna, be responsible for telling their story. But that's why they're paying you, and they're paying you quite handsomely. But outside of that, that's really the only thing you get. You don't deserve nothing else. Everything else is not what you're owed. It's what now your job is to, again, service the project and to be in service to all those people on set who've been working to get you that job. And you need to get to work and say, "I'm here to be a solution, not a problem," right? And so I really try to tell actors, don't do me. Don't do like I did, please.
No, that's
Please
the
don't embarrass
worst.
yourself.
There you go. That's the worst advice that you
That
can
man
ever take.
that was the worst advice. He sent me off, y'all.
For someone to tell you, "Oh, you should get paid more." All right.
Did you say anything to him after? Or was you like, hold on,
Of course I did.
Set me up for failure.
Like, why would you do that? Why would you tell me to do that? He was like, he gonna try to play dumb and was like, "I didn't mean do it today." I said, "You told me don't leave my trailer." And he said, "I meant that like, figuratively."
Salute to that man.
Hey.
He was giving me, it was giving me Shaggy vibes. It was giving Shaggy. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
And I was like, "No, you said it. You said it."
Yeah. Well, hey, look.
Spin that dude spun, man. But you know what? That's not his fault. Shame on me. Shame on me because I was naive.
Hey, you live and you learn, and you learn.
You live and you learn.
You learn.
Fool me once.
Last question. Girl. Yes, ma'am. We got one more. Fangirl moment. The first time you were starstruck.
Idris Elba, hands down. I was at the NAACP Awards, and he was walking. I was actually I was married at the time. This was a long time ago. I was married. I'm not married now. It's okay. It's all right. We good. I was married then, and my husband at the time, he knew my love for Idris. Of course, every woman come on now, we all have and it wasn't that he had like a pass for that. It was just that he understood why. I literally was like walking hand in hand with him, and then I saw Idris, and I literally like broke. Like I broke. I let go of that hand so hard. I said, I was, and my husband, he didn't even mind. He was like, I understand. You had to go get that. And I mean, when I say I was like, but here's what's crazy is I followed the man, right? Followed him on whatever his like journey was to get to wherever his feet was, whatever. Followed him just so I could get close. But then I got there and didn't even say nothing. Didn't even do nothing. I just got close enough to be like, and then I realized I had never prepared what I would actually say if I met him. And then I thought, I don't want to meet him because I don't want him to see me as a fangirl, right? I wanted him to see me as not somebody who just thought he was handsome, because of course I think he's handsome. And of course he's gorgeous, but that wasn't the point. I actually really love Idris. I think, of course, he is so gorgeous. And that was a part of why I had the fangirl. But it's really because I'm so enamored with him as a performer and an actor. And even now I think people are beginning to see what I've always known about him, which is like, as he's doing this thing in his career where he's so far, he's achieved these things, and he's going, I want to give back to my people. I want to take these stories and I want to give power, and I want to represent African nations, and I want to be able to go to my homeland where my parents were born, and I want to say, let me bring film industry, let me elevate the film industry there. I think that Idris has always been an actor that's encouraged other actors, that's been authentic about his own journey, and that also has, this is what I love about him. He's always been like, I also DJ, I also draw, I also am into fashion. I love the way that he encourages creatives to be their full self. I just think he's an incredible human. I really like what he does with his philanthropic work. I think he's just great because he could have just been a handsome dude, and he didn't do that. And I really, really love him. I would love to work with him one day. So I fangirled on the follow. But then once I got there, thank God, he never saw me turn around and be like, so I'm waiting. And I now, as a little bit growner and more evolved person and actress, I know what I would say, which is that I respect you immensely, and I would love to see the way that our stories could possibly connect. I would love to create with you. Because I'm really a fan of everything that you do. Yeah.
Nice.
We'll tag him when we post this.
Yeah. Let him know. That's like what I say. You gotta say what you want. You gotta say what you want in the world. You never know.
Speak it. You gotta speak it.
In fact, I'm going to be in South Africa for 4.5 months. So
that would be perfect timing.
I will be on the continent. I'm not gonna be near Ghana, which is I believe where you're gonna be, but it doesn't matter. I'm on the continent. I got a day or two off. We can work something out. Just at least take a meeting. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're watching. I don't know if this is gonna get to you, but if it does, Idris, I mean it. I am such a fan of you as a human and your work. I think that you're an incredible artist, and I can't wait to work with you. This has now become my personal petition to Idris.
It sounds like a.
There you go.
Get so lonely.
Can't wait for anybody Come on.
It sounds like a 4-page letter.
Oh, God.
I enclosed it with a kiss. Okay.
Wow. It's a 4-page letter. It's a
4-page letter. That's a 4-page letter. Okay, so it's been fun. Oh my God. We have joy and laugh through this interview. You bring such a great energy. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing everything, sharing your story, and just giving back to the community is a very dope thing to do. And especially when you're not expecting anything, you're just giving back, because that's God's purpose. Don't let me get on my rant. Amen. So one last question. At the end of your career, what would you like people to say about your legacy?
That she was kind, that she lived her life in alignment with what she said she was about.
That's right.
And that I may not remember everything she did, but I know how I felt when I was around her, and it felt good.
There it is.
That was beautiful.
Yes, that was so beautiful.
That was beautiful, sweet poetry. My good, like I didn't.
Yes.
And touch my soul.
Breathtaking.
Lord.
The snappy fingers.
John, look at John.
That was a Love Jones moment,
I was
actually.
gonna say not the Love Jones.
That was a Love Jones snap. Yeah.
We had to take it back to the Love Jones snap. Y'all, what you think about these Walmart commercials where they reunited Lorenz Tate and Nia Long?
Oh,
Y'all.
I was about to say that. Hey, man. Come on.
I mean, they talking about it now. They talking about doing it. I say I'm here for it.
I'm
I'm here
hoping
for
so.
it. Once again, I'm gonna put it out in the world. If we do a Love Jones, baby, put me on. I don't care. I want to be in a friend group. I can be any. You put me on. I don't care. Whatever the role is. Okay, there is no role too small. Now I take a big one too. But I'm just saying, I'm here for it. I love it. If we do a Love Jones remake, put it out in the universe. I'm trying to be a
And
part
by
of it.
the way, if they ever do a remake, they have to follow up with the soundtrack because that Love Jones soundtrack was straight fire.
Still hits.
Still
hits.
With a penny
Hey.
with a hole in it. Penny
Come on
with
now.
a penny with a hole in it. Yeah. They say I'm no less.
No less.
Then up to my head.
Come on, man.
Eric.
Straight up vibing, bro. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
Cynthia Kaye McWilliams, Queen. Thank you. Many blessings to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me today. I had a great time.
I'm glad you
I
did.
wish you the
had
absolute
awesome.
best in the end of this year and to the next year. I hope that everything you're doing with the podcast continues to grow. And I hope that each of you continue to grow in your own pursuits as well. Tashay, Mike, Jaffe, thank you so much. Blessings to you and your whole families, your whole circle. And please let me know any way I can support anything you're doing. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we will hit you up.
Yes, please do.
Definitely we'll be working with you soon in the future. I'm already manifesting that.